So, do you have any questions?
Doctor, there was a question which I came across in which they told to set the first 3 digits of port A and then to send the output to port B. So they didn't mention whether the first 3 digits means like which pin and
Okay,
that the port
so
is mentioned.
okay. So the question says set the first 3 digits of port A, right, Afifa?
Yeah, and send the result to port B.
Okay, set the first 3 digits of port A as input.
No, they didn't mention. They just
Okay.
told set the first 3 digits of port A.
Okay, and send the output to port B.
Yeah.
Send the output to port B. So to set the first 3 digits of port A, now port A will have 8 digits, right? So the first 3 digits will be 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when we talk about the first 3 digits, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the first 3 digits. So if it means that set the first 3 digits as input, this means port A, sorry, this means DDR A, and I is equal to, I will write either 0B because I will write in binary, or 0x if I want to write in hexadecimal. If I want to write in binary, then I need to make sure that the first 3 digits are zeros. The rest I can also put as zeros, okay? But these are the important pins. So this is also 0, 0. This will set port A as input.
Doctor, are you sharing some screen?
Ah, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I thought I shared my screen. No problem. So this is my screen. Anyway, it's recorded, so I will upload the recording. The recording will have my screen, so don't worry. So the first 3 bits are basically bit 0, bit 1, bit 2. These are the first 3 bits. So these 3 bits should be zeros, and then the rest you can put as zeros if you are not using them. If you want to write the answer in binary, then you write 0B. If you want to write it in hexadecimal, then you write 0, 0. As for port B, DDR B is equal to 0xFF. So this will set port B as an output port. Okay? So, any other questions?
Doctor, they said to set it, so you put it 0, 0, zeros?
Yeah. If the port is input, then it's 0. If the port if it is output, it is 1.
But I thought that when they say set, it means like you need to set it to 1.
Okay, if you want you want to set the first 3 digits. Okay. Setting the first 3 digits, meaning I want to send on the port. Okay, so this is for this part is for setting the port, for initializing the port. I don't want to say setting because setting will go to 1. So this is for initializing now. If you want, if it says set the first 3 digits of port A, when I want to set the first 3 digits to port A, I will have to say DDR A is equal to 0B 0 0 0 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 1 1 1, which is equivalent to 0x07. What is the second part, Afifa, of the question?
This is to send it to port C.
Send
Send the result.
the output to port C.
Yeah.
If I want to send the output, a value to port C, then I need to put it into port C. And to put a value into port C, I need to say, this is not DDR. Again, this is not DDR. This is not DDR. This is port A. Okay, port A. Because we are sending an output on the port. We are sending an output on the port. And if you want to send it to port C, you are going to say port C is equal to the same value. Port for sending an output, DDR for setting the direction of the port. Okay?
So we need to write port A equal to port C at the end.
You cannot say port A is equal to port C.
So we need to use I, a variable.
You need to use a variable. You need to use a variable, okay? You need to use a variable at that time. But are you sure that that is the question? I'm feeling something is wrong in the question.
No, that was the question you just mentioned. What do you think is missing?
What I think is missing is one of the ports should be an input and the other is an output. يعني usually we read, let's say I want to read the first 3 digits of port A. I want to read the first 3 digits of port A and send the output to port C. So that way I will set the first 3 digits of port A as an input. I will read them using PNA, put them into a variable, and then I will send the output from the variable to port C. This sounds like a better question for me. Okay, any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, Saud.
What question 1, tutorial 2. In case he not mentioned free running mode. In case if he not mentioned to us, it is a free running mode.
If something is not mentioned, you put it 0. You don't set it. If something is not mentioned, you put it 0. Now, it's for the analog to digital converter. Since it's a free running mode, it's an analog to digital converter. Analog to digital converter, it has 2 different modes. One mode is free running, the other mode is triggered. If it's not free running mode, then it should be triggered. And if it is triggered, then you should set what is the triggering source. Okay? Usually, we take it as a free running mode for the analog to digital converter. Of course, this is not the right way if you are programming, because this means that your analog to digital converter will be running all the time. However, for our case over here, we will just set it for free running mode.
دكتور لو ما مذكورة في السؤال يعني
لو ما مذكورة في السؤال, you put it as 0. If it's not mentioned in the question, you put it as 0. Don't enable anything which is not mentioned in the question. Okay, don't enable anything which is not mentioned in the question.
Doctor, the special function input-output register, like when do we use it? When you have triggering?
Yeah. When you use the instead of rerunning, you use a trigger. You go and set in the special function register where you have the triggering source. As I recall, let me remember. Let me open the lecture. It was this one, I think. By the way, someone today asked me in the question um, in the mock test or the formative test I asked for pin 2. When I say pin 2, it's an analog to digital converter يا جماعة. Analog to digital converter. When I say pin 2, I mean ADC 2. When I say pin 3, I mean ADC 3. Okay? It's all related to analog to digital converter. So when I say pin 2, I mean the pin 2 of the analog to digital converter. Now, we have here the triggering. Okay, the triggering, it's either free running or triggered. If it's free running, it's fine. If it is triggered, then you should, where is it? Do we have it here? The triggering source here. Here is the triggering source. Okay, special function input output register. We have the triggering source. So free running mode, analog comparator, and so on. Usually we don't put triggering as a value. We'll put it as auto trigger. If you don't put it auto trigger, then you need to go over here to the special function input output register and choose which source is going to trigger the analog to digital converter.
Victor,
نعم.
UBRR, how about the decimal number? We should be ignored or we go to the nearest in case if I get it?
If there is a fraction in the UBRR, round it up.
Even it is small, like 0.2?
You will not get a 0.2.
No, I mean 12, like 12, 0.2, something like that.
Yeah, just no, 12 0.2 will not round. Rounding, anything below 0.5 is 0, anything above 0.5 is you add 1. Okay, and remember, then you need to change the value into hexadecimal.
دكتور
Yes.
ADC دكتور هل تذكر هذا السؤال إذا كانت فري رننج أو
Yes. I will mention it. Yes.
لأن بعض الدكتور ما نعرف كيف السؤال عليه الثلاث بس أنا أعرف 0 0.
It is always free running. Don't worry, ya Khalifa. Okay, it is always free running source for the analog to digital converter. So there is no auto trigger. Auto trigger is disabled. Any other questions?
دكتور
Yes, Khalifa.
مو إكزام
Yeah.
طرح السؤال يعني the gain factor of the 10 وش تقصد المفروض يبقى 10
هون شوف. I said pin number 2 with gain factor of 10. Pin number 2 with gain factor of 10. هذا هو شايفه. You can see my screen, right? This is the gain factor. So when I say pin number 2, you are not going to choose this value. When I say pin number 2 with gain, you are going to search for pin number 2 with gain. And then these are the values of your multiplexer. Look. Here, this is the one I'm talking about. Okay?
اوكي
Doctor, earlier you had told that no need to write comments, right, when we write the code for serial port and ADC. But then we have to show the calculation for UVRR.
Yeah, you need to show your calculations. You need to show يعني if someone comes and just starts writing me a value, let's say BRRRH is equal to 0x f1 and it's wrong, then it's wrong. If I don't see the calculation, it's wrong. If I see the calculation, I will put marks on the calculation. Okay? The exam is coming from a question bank. The exam is coming once more from a question bank. And there are a lot of different questions. So basically, don't copy. Use your own exam. If I feel for some reason that you have copied, then you will get a 0. Last semester, 2 students failed with me because they have copied. So just do your work. Everyone do your work. Don't copy. Everything should be fine.
And like, what about the other things? You need to mention that this is asynchronous, then double speed, and all that in the comment, or just the calculation?
No, just the calculation is fine. Just the calculation is fine.
For example, if we are setting UCSR A and B and C and all that, we just write the binary.
Yeah, type the binary. The exam, by the way, is free. Yani you can go through the questions. You can go back and forward through the questions. If you have time, you can go back and write the comments. Write the necessary things. Then once you have time, you can go back and write your comments. Okay, the exam is free. It's not sequential. Yani you can go through the questions without any problem. But again, I put each question by itself. So that you don't have a big page. So you can see the questions. It's easier for you. But you can navigate through the questions without any problem. This is, if the question is programming, I can easily, sorry?
You mean in each page there is one question?
Each page there is one question and you can navigate through the questions as you want. This I put each page in one question to make things easier for you. Because I notice if I put the questions underneath each other, sometimes the students miss the last question.
So we can return back to a question if it is.
Yes. So look at the questions, answer the questions. The time is 60 minutes. The time is full 60 minutes. Once more, you cannot use the paste option. So you need to type everything by your hand. Don't type extra. The first thing you go inside the exam, answer the questions. Then you have the time to go and modify and type extra things if you want. Make sure that you answer all the questions first. Then you can start modifying the questions. If there is a calculation, show me the calculation. If you put a number, I will not take the number. I want to see the calculations. We don't have complicated equations here. Okay? In this course, there is no complicated equations. All the numbers are simple. So you can easily type them.
We know the time.
Time is 60 minutes. Time is 60 minutes. It's more than enough.
This is because first time to us to use this type of exam.
There is always a first time for everything, Saud.
It's very difficult.
Don't say difficult until you try it. You know, if you set Saud, if you set your mind that something is difficult, trust me, على الساعة 6 everything will be difficult. I'm sure if you are from now saying everything is difficult, trust me, when you open the exam at 6 o'clock, even if it was 1 + 1, it will be difficult. Just set your mind that I want to go inside and answer the questions.
We can express more by previous style.
Wallah, this is, again, once more, you came to my office and we have discussed this matter, right?
We know this.
Yeah, and you know the situation, it's not by me, it's by the university rules. If it was by me, I want the easier for you and the easier for me. Inshallah. Any other questions? Yes.
بالتليفون يصير نسوي يعني كوبي بيست لما دخلنا الموقع بالتليفون، فيعني مثلا نبغى نجهز equation ولا شيء، فهل النظام بيمسحه عقب يعتبره غش؟ يعني يصير نحط بيست كوبي بيست مع
بس Amal, are you going to type everything using your phone? How are you going to navigate through the questions using the phone?
والله ما أعرف دكتور، بس هو يعني ما أعرف صراحة.
I don't know. I don't know. But what I think is better is you go through the computer, not your phone. And نتذكروا it's an open book test. Open book, it's not a secret. You can use your lecture notes. Okay? You can use and navigate through the lecture notes. It's not a secret. So try to find the answers. Just type the answers. Remember, this is programming. ماشي. When I say programming يعني it's programming. How many lines do we need to write? Like DDR B is equal to a number. It's not like writing 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. Simple words underneath each other. I'm not sure if they take time, that long time from you. Anyway, hope today everything will go fine.
دكتور بيكون اختبار كله كتابة بروجرام يعني الكالكوليشن ما تريد
And this is what we are going to know after 5.5 hours. واضح الجواب؟ You have to wait 5.5 hours, Khalifa, to know the answer. Any other questions?
دكتور بعد سمعنا إنه يعني في نقدر نسجل صوت، يعني إذا سؤال مقالي مثلا. والله سمعت.
مين حكى هالحكي؟ شوفوا
هذا ربعنا مع الكيمياء.
هذول جماعة الكيمياء I don't know about the كيمياء. But what we have here is you will open and you will have a question. Underneath it you will have a box to answer. That box has no options. You cannot attach, you cannot anything. You just type the answer. This is what you are going to find with me. Anyway, during the test I will be available on Microsoft Teams. So if you have any question not related to the test, any problem, you can ask. يعني مش تيجي تسألني is this right or wrong. If you ask me this is right or wrong, I will not answer. But if you have a problem or you have a question, you can ask. If it's a general question, I may answer through the team, but I will not answer. Usually there is no big problems. However, I will be available on Microsoft Teams during the exam time. The exam is 60 minutes. The exam will submit all answers after 60 minutes. Once the time finishes, the exam will submit the answers. So there is no problem in saying I cannot upload, cannot download, whatever these problems, we will not have them. Any other questions?
دكتور.
Yes, Khalifa.
8-bit has 4 on the left to 4 on the right.
Yes. For hexadecimal.
Okay.
Any other questions, Shabab? Okay, then I will see you inshallah at 6 p.m. today. Hope everything will go fine. Again, I will be available through Microsoft Teams during the exam time. Thank you and see you soon.